So next up on the Mesopotamian gods and goddesses, let's talk about Nanna. So I had a lot of fun researching Nanna, and I actually learned quite a bit. So let me just share all that with you guys. So Nanna, who in the Simon Necronomicon is the first gate that you walk in the gate walking. The sacred number is 30. And let's go over the amount of names. All right. So depending on where you were and what time period, so Nanna was also called Sin or Sin, Dilimbabar, which means embellisher, possibly, Nanar, Nana Suen, Namrasit, which means who shines forth, and Inbu, which means the fruit, because they equated like the shape of the moon with like a fruit, I guess. It was also called He Whose Heart Cannot Be Read. It was said he could see farther than all the gods. He was also called Enzu, which means Lord of Wisdom. His temple was called the House of Great Light. It was located in Ur, and it was the actual name for it was Gish Shirgal, and he was worshipped back as far back as 3500 BCE, and his veneration can be noted throughout Mesopotamian history all the way up to 1000 ACE. He was the god of the moon. I think, like I said that already. Let's see. Eclipses, when the moon had an eclipse, right? Those were seen as evil entities or evil spirits trying to steal Nana's light. And according to like the different tale and timing, either Nanna had to fight to get it back, or Marduk actually fought to get the Nana's light back. He was the tutelary god of Ur. He was also worshipped in Haran, and interestingly, a moon god of South Arabia had the same name. So, yep, said those 2 points. In terms of his importance, his name was actually listed at times right after Anu, Enlil, and Enki. So, when they would list off the gods, they were like Anu, Enlil, Enki, and Nanna. So in some tales, Nanna was the father of Shamash and Ishtar, being the sun and Venus, and he was considered the firstborn of Enlil. In the tale Enlil and Ninlil, Nanna was born in the underworld actually, and 3 substitutions had to be given to the underworld to let Nanna rise out of it. And actually, when I was taking the notes on this, it makes sense to me now. Okay, so I've talked about this before in the Descent of Ishtar and my explorations of Ganzir and such and the underworld, right? When somebody enters the underworld, it's almost like, and I came up with an analogy for this too, right? So, like, let's say you're scheduled to go to work, okay? If you need to take the time off to be sick, they call somebody else in because they need someone to fill that spot. It's like, filling a shift, filling a responsibility. So the underworld kind of works in the same way. Once somebody goes down there, they cannot leave without finding somebody else to fill that space. So given that Enlil, Ninlil went down to the underworld, and then Ninlil gave birth to Nanna, they needed to have 3 substitutions, meaning 3 others take their place so Enlil, Ninlil, and Nanna could leave. So, and I think that's representative of how, just like how the sun rises from viewpoints and stuff, you have sunrise and you have moonrise, right? So it looks like it's coming out of the underworld. So that tale kind of explains that. So, carrying on. Where was I? Yes. So Nanna was also represented by the bull. He was also depicted as like a man sitting in a chair with a really long beard, interestingly made of lapis, right? Could just be the way that they designed the art and stuff, but hey. So yeah, he was represented by the bull, where the horns were seen as representative of the crescent moon. He was seen as a shepherd and considered the god of shepherds. Nana was connected to the menstrual cycles and was actually preyed upon to relieve birth pains. There's a tale of Nana's cow named Geme Sin, or Geme Sin, if you pronounce it, the correct way, which was his cow, being pregnant, and how Nana was able to alleviate those pains. And so people would actually pray, like, please make this woman's childbirth experience as calming and pain-free as Game seen, right? So people watched the movements of the moon and made omens based on it, and it was even said that like I think once a month, the gods would gather around Nanna, and Nanna would make predictions. So he was seen as like a god of divination, right? So, like Shamash, he had the ability to issue laws and determination of destinies. Ningal, which means great lady, is Nana's consort, meaning like his wife, right? And the two had Ishtar and Shamash, according to some tales, although the parentage of Ishtar and Shamash is also credited to other deities in other writings. And, this is because with changing of veneration of who's the boss over time, different tales were credited to, and different accomplishments and things were credited to different gods and goddesses depending on who was being worshipped where and when. Just like how in like one tale, Enki was the one that took out Tiamat. But then when Babylon rose to power, hey, Marduk did it. These things change over time. So in Ur, where Nana had the Temple of Great Light, I think it's called, if I scroll up, the House of Great Light. Yep. So in Ur, the daughter of the king, who would technically be like the princess, right? She would be appointed as the high priestess of Nana's temple. I thought that was really interesting too. Well, then that would kind of connect the royalty of the state to the religion, even though church and state, I guess you could call them, were very much intertwined, because even the ziggurats in the temples, that's where you would like store grain and make payments for taxes and such. But that's kind of getting into socioeconomics and whatnot of Mesopotamia rather than talking about Nana. But that's all the notes that I was able to take on Nana this morning, and it was very, very cool to read through a whole bunch of stuff on Nana. So I just kind of summarized I made a whole bunch of bullet points on all the points of Nana that I thought were very, very interesting. So let me know down in the comments, and questions, comments, complaints, concerns, issues. You guys can always touch base with me on my social media, either down below or in the links that you're going to find at the end of this video. Let me know what you think, and let me know what god or goddess you would like me to review next. Good hunting. Thanks for watching my video. So if you want to check out my playlists, I have, among others, the Simon Necronomicon, the Tree of Life, General Magic, Tulpamancy, a playlist on my books, the elements, stones, the theories that govern magic, and the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, and The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.